Hi, everybody. My name is Larry Beckwith. I am the artistic producer of Confluence Concerts, and we are very excited to announce today a new recording project that we are partnering with the wonderful organist Matthew Larkin on. I have Matthew with me today. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Larry.
Uh, so excited that you are going to make a solo organ recording on the great organ at St. Paul's Bloor Street here in Toronto. We're going to go into that church in a couple of weeks and record this program. Can you talk a little bit about what you have planned?
Sure. Firstly, thanks, Larry, for all of your encouragement with this, you and your colleagues. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to share music with a wider audience, obviously. And it's a privilege to partner with you and with Confluence on this project. So thank you once again. And
Very
I'm
welcome.
really looking forward to playing at St. Paul's. St. Paul's, as you and I know, Larry, has been a fixture in the organ scene in Canada for a little bit over a century now. And when you and I were both undergraduates at the University of Toronto, it was my place to visit every Wednesday afternoon so I could have lessons with your friend and mine, Mr. John Tuttle, when he was the organist there. So I got very familiar with the instrument back in those days, and I've had the occasion to play recitals on it basically all through the 30 odd years since. And it's a beautiful instrument and one of the most colorful, vibrant sounds in Canada. Such a plurality of color and very much in the English cathedral style as Cassavant instruments go, which of course that's my style. So I love playing instruments that are really made for that kind of music, and St. Paul's really offers the finest Canadian example of that. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And can you give us some idea of the repertoire that you'll be recording?
Sure. Part of the idea of this project sort of sprang forth from a previous project that never quite came to fruition, which was to record all of the works of Healy Willan. And while I won't be recording all of Willan's works, he will be very well represented on the recording. And of course, he himself was the first organist of that church shortly after it was built, and continued to play the instrument there throughout his career. And some of his pieces were written actually for that organ. So we'll be featuring a couple of those, and alongside Willan, some other great Canadian composers as well, such as Sir Ernest Macmillan, and from our own day, my friend and yours, Andrew Ager. And beyond that, though, we're going to be recording music that basically fills the whole spectrum from some chorale preludes by Johann Sebastian Bach, a harpsichord piece which I've transcribed by Francois Couperin, movements from 19th century masterworks, César Franck being one composer that I absolutely will feature. I love his music. And then a lot of contemporary music that is so beautiful and speaks timelessly, I think, to the traditions from which it came, but also speaks to, you know, our experience of the present day. French masters such as Maurice Duruflé and Olivier Messiaen, English masters, Herbert Howells, Ralph Vaughan Williams, and the list goes on and on. Right now, I've got about 6 hours of music I've got ready to go and could record. So we have to do a bit of pruning, but it'll end up being, I think, the right selection and the I guess the ethos or the aesthetic that I'd like to speak to is the majestic power of the instrument is a huge part of that, but also that it's able to speak to the whole range of human experience and emotion. And in the challenges that we face in today's world, I hope to be able to evoke some thoughts about how we might improve the experience of all human beings and show how music can be such a key driver, as can all forms of art, in building a just and peaceful world.
Well, it sounds like such an exciting program, Matthew, and such a sincere and heartfelt approach. Some would say during this time of isolation that this might be an odd time to do a recording project. Maybe you would be a bit rusty in terms of your playing, but in fact, you've been playing every day, haven't you? Can you talk a
Well,
little?
I'll leave the opinions as to my rustiness to others, but it's certainly true that I've been maintaining basically since the 16th of March a daily live stream of performances on social media. I've missed a couple of days either from just needing a day off or not having any ideas, but I'm up to 80, in the low 80s of performances. It hasn't all been organ music, but a lot of it has been. So I've kept my hand in, as it were. And in fact, it's created, if there is a silver lining to all the various clouds that are around, it's that it's really given me some space to think about, my vocation as an artist, and even technical things about, am I pedaling correctly? Wouldn't it be nicer if I could hit the switching system a little bit quicker, or things that I want to improve in my own art, that, when you're dashing from concert to concert, as you know, all the time, it just becomes kind of a survival game. And sometimes you're not expressing yourself with the poise that you would like. And it's given me an opportunity to do that for sure.
And I understand that those sessions have been very popular. And of course, you have always had a loyal following across the country. And when we talked initially about this project, we talked about reaching out to your supporters for donations. These projects, even with just one performer, the expenses do tend to mount up. And we did reach out last week and had an overwhelming response. Really just amazing response. And I wonder if you had a message for the people who have supported this project so far.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't, even on one of my most articulate days, be able to come up with sufficient words of thanks for all of the support that this project has received, and indeed that I've received writ large, not just with particular reference to this project, but in all of my work. The last couple of years have been a time of discernment for me. I'm sort of at that point in my life where I've been reflecting on things past, present, and future. And in so doing, I've encountered all kinds of different ways to make art and to reach people, connect with people, work with people. And that's led me to the creation of a number of projects, all of which would not have stood on their own and would not have survived or even perhaps begun without the faithful and consistent support and encouragement of friends, colleagues, and my community. And I'm so grateful to everyone for saying, yeah, we'd like to support this and we'd like to support you, being me. And I'm moved and humbled by everyone's participation in this, and so deeply thankful.
Well, Matthew, it's a wonderful community that you create and have created over the years. And I'm just so excited that we're going to be able to sort of capture your artistry on a recording. Apparently these days we don't call them CD recordings, we call them albums or virtual recordings. And when it's done, this recording will be available, of course, on all the usual platforms, and we'll be able to enjoy your playing. Well, generations to come will be able to enjoy your playing. So thank you very much, Matthew. I look forward to this project. And those of you out in cyberspace, if you would like to donate, we would be tremendously grateful. And all of the information is on the Confluence Concerts website at confluenceconcerts.ca. You'll be able to see a description of the project on the main page, and an opportunity for you to support it as you can. Thanks so much for joining me, Matthew.
Thank you, Larry.